I love your company.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning. We're back. We're better than ever. It's St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. Obviously, it's officially tomorrow, but the river is green and the fish are confused. We are here. I hope everybody had an amazing St. Patrick's Day weekend, whether you're going to the parade tomorrow, you're at one of the parades today, or just going wild on the north, south, east, or west side of Chicago, having a great time. So be safe, be lovely. Don't drink and drive. But today, we're talking about everything Chicago Bears with my guy from inside the Hoosier mind, Tony Hollinsworth. Tony, how we feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling great. And for anybody that doesn't know, I sent this to Mike in our personal chat. St. Patrick's Day is basically Cinco de Mayo for us gingers, for us redheads. It's our day, so I'm excited. And I will say, for those poor fish, can you imagine just swimming, minding your own business? Next thing you know, the water's just green. You're like, what happened?
I
Like,
feel
why
like
is this
it's
green?
like one of those things where you don't understand why it's happening. All you know is that once a year, like I bet you it's like a traumatic day. Like it's like an earthquake once a year, and it's like, oh my God, the green is back, and they just go crazy. But it's obviously non-harmful to any of the fish. We have to point
Right.
that out there for all of the yuppies in the city that just feel like I don't know why you diet green. Well, we diet green because we're having a ball. We're having a great time. And I think the two greatest things I've ever seen involving the Chicago River was, well, they always have the air and water show, which is a great time. And then
Yeah.
obviously when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, they dyed it blue. And it was like a different kind. It was like a cubby blue. It was the cleanest thing in the world.
Mhm.
And obviously St. Patrick's Day, I've done it for years. It's an absolute blast. It was a rough one. It was a rough one this go around. I was doing a live stream all night with my boy. Give us a shot, Mike Powers. He raised $8,000 to the Children's Hospital for a race that's happening this Sunday with Alyssa. Completely dope foundation, completely dope race. I thought it was a super dope thing to be a part of. So didn't get much sleep, but it's okay. It's okay. It's for the kids.
And didn't one time they drop like a whole ton of ducks in the Chicago River, just like
Yes.
rubber ducks like floating down? I
Yes.
remember that too. I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
And like rubber ducks are like people that know me know that like ducks and otters are like my favorite animals. And like so when I saw those ducks, I used to collect little rubber ducks. There used to be a vending machine at Harlem or Irving Plaza. And if you ever
Mhm.
seen it, like it's nah, you're capping to me. Don't lie to me. Are you for real? Give me a
Oh,
sec, Tone. I'm hearing that Brandon Ayuk was traded to the Panthers,
oh,
but I haven't seen anything on that yet. Potentially. All right, Tone, keep me updated on that.
okay.
Because I got the phone over there, so I can't see. But that would be something. That would be something for sure. I don't know if that was a cap. We're just reading the comments. Please don't come for me. That would be absolutely crazy. So, but with that being said, man, we got to talk about a wide receiver that's off the board in the trade realm that the Chicago Bears just acquired. Literally right after me and you did a show, I was live with Rob
Mhm.
Scott when it happened. Keenan Allen for a 4th round pick to the Chicago Bears. Tone, take me through it. Walk me through it. How'd you find out? What were your feelings? And what do you think moving forward? We saw him today at the press conference talking about, I wasn't taking a pay cut there. Now he's happy to come here, 1-year deal. What do you think about the future of Keenan Allen and the Bears? Do you see it being long term, or is this just a 1-year thing?
So I found out when I was watching the show actually with you and Rob Scott. I was sitting there watching, and I I saw your reaction live and in the flesh. So I was like, man, I can't get any happier than this. I think it's a great thing, and this is going to kind of cover a little bit into what we're going to talk about, but I won't dive too deep into it. it gives, no matter who's going to be the quarterback, is going to give them a solid number one guy that a lot of people I feel like don't give Keenan Allen the love and praise that he gets, because he's secretly almost always a top 10 wide receiver
I think
when it
so.
comes to his production. I know the last couple of years he's had some injury issues and whatnot, but all honesty, like,
Career year last year, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, last year he was in 13 games, year before 10, 16, 14, 16. So I mean, he's only missing like a few games here and there. He's not missing like a whole season or half a season. He hasn't actually done that since 2016, their last year in San Diego. He only played in one game, and he got 6 receptions for 63 yards and no touchdowns. So other than that, he's been a healthy dude. For Chicago, for a 4th round pick to get a dude that's 32 years old, the fact that he's a beast, he's been a beast for a long time. He's played with a lot of different quarterbacks, a lot of good quarterbacks, both with Rivers and Herbert both. Whoever the quarterback is getting a solid guy, and it brings a lot of experience and leadership to that wide receiver locker room. No offense to DJ Moore, but it's different when you're a true number one guy that has been a part of a lot of really successful teams, especially Chargers, albeit they haven't been able to make it very far, but he's been a part of successful teams and knows what a winning culture looks like nonetheless. For him to come to Chicago, bring a lot of that, he could be a mentor to DJ Moore and whoever the Bears draft as well. It's a win-win for Chicago, to be 100% honest. And like Frankie said, the fact that LA wanted him to take a pay cut, this is one of those where I've always kind of made the argument, do you want to get paid or do you want to win a championship? In Keenan's case with LA, they're in so much bad cap strap at the current moment with Bosa, with Mac, with his contract. Like, if I'm Keenan, look, I don't really know what the future is going to look like. I don't know what Jim's doing, where he's making cuts. He cut Mike, he cut him. If I'm Keenan,
let go of Eckler, like all of them.
And Keenan's 32, almost about to be 33. He's coming to the end of his career. He's like, nah, I'm getting close to the end. I need all the money I can get before I can't do this anymore.
Right. I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of different levels to it. And I think, when you look at it for what it is, I think the great point that you brought up was like DJ Moore is a number one wide receiver. And there's no questions about it. You know what I mean? Like DJ is a solidified one. But on a championship caliber team, I haven't seen DJ surrounded by a lot of talent to where he's still putting up number one option, or number one numbers, I should say, as the number one option. When I see a guy like Keenan Allen, I've seen others around him, Gerald Everett in his prime, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, whatever you want to say about Joshua Palmer. But I think when you see him still able to have that success, he had the most catches, I believe over 100 catches in 2023. He had 7 touchdowns, over 1,200 yards. I believe his career for yards was off by like 100. I think he had 1,300 in one season earlier in the 2010s. But nonetheless, I mean, it was a career year in a lot of different statistics and a lot of different categories for him. The only thing for me is, like, I believe he played 10 games in 2022 and 13 games in 2023. So obviously there's that decline. And I think, you having an understanding of, you're the number one option, you're getting fed the most, you're getting over 100 receptions a season, you're trying to win games, with Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen as that 1-2 tandem. And I think when you bring in DJ Moore to that and bring Keenan in, it's like, okay, well, now we can split this. Now the workload isn't all just on DJ Moore like it was in Carolina, and like it was, to be completely honest. Tony, do you know the one receiver that caught a touchdown other than DJ Moore in 2023 for the Chicago Bears? Do you know?
If I had to guess, let's see. I know it wasn't Darnell Mooney. Maybe Tyler Scott or Byron Pringle.
It was Chase Claypool in the first 5 weeks of the season. Other than that, it was Cole Kmet and, the RBs and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is obviously 8-0 touchdown interception ratio, 1,300 yards. Great. But you really couldn't hit anybody else. Sure, Cole Kmet counts if you want to count him. But from a wide receiver perspective, in that wide receiver room, they were doo-doo in the butt, as Pride would say. But, I think to really break that down and understand that now DJ and Keenan are going to be able to just feed off of each other and kind of pick up on each other. I think this is honestly the best Chicago Bears wide receiver duo since Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey in the Jay Cutler era. Like, this is a beautiful thing. And a lot of people would even agree and say that this is even better than that was. So it's like, to me, I think Keenan is definitely, like, I think you can make an argument DJ Moore versus Brandon Marshall. You know what I mean? Especially where they're at in current time. Like, prime Brandon Marshall, sure, maybe not. But Brandon Marshall on the Bears versus DJ on the Bears, I think there's an argument. But Alshon Jeffrey, Keenan Allen clears 10 times out of 10, even at age 32. So I love it. I think it's a great move. I also want to give an update. I think what we heard there was Brandon Ayuk going to the Carolina Panthers in the comments section. I believe that was more of a question than a statement. I've been looking. I haven't seen anything on that. As far as I know right now, Brandon Ayuk is still a part of the San Francisco 49ers. I haven't seen any breaking news. I haven't heard anybody. I've obviously heard the rumors. But as of right now, Tone, not to get off topic, but I'm very excited to see Bryce Young this year, especially after the draft. You're looking at Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen, and who else did they bring in? Another wide receiver too. They're bringing in some names, and I'm excited to see what Bryce has going for year 2.
Yeah, I am too, and I do want to add one thing real quick too on Keenan Allen. No matter who they draft, if they draft a wide receiver, I think it's good because Keenan not only brings a leadership perspective, but again, he can be a rotational guy out. I know when that news broke about Keenan getting traded to the Bears, that one of the guys in my group chat had mentioned that, they're not going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. to be the number 3. And it's like, well, he don't necessarily have to be the number 3. If you're worried about Keenan getting injured, or if you're worried about DJ getting injured, now you have potentially 3 guys, whether it's Marvin, whether it's Malik, or whether it's, Rome Odunze. You can rotate those guys in and out, and you still have a solid 1 and 2 on the field. Or if you want to have all 3 on the field, you have that legitimate option to be able to do that. I am kind of excited though to get back on your topic of what you had mentioned with the Panthers having Deontay Johnson. They still have Adam Thielen that they had brought in for last year. I'm looking wide receiver wise. I don't see anything else wide receiver wise that they brought in, and I'm not seeing anything.
They brought in a couple dogs though. On the defensive end, I will say that I'm very excited about that, and I like what you're bringing up. And, when we talk about that, I guess we can skip the Bryce Young stuff because that's all we got based off of right now is just the weapons he has. There's nothing else we can really break down. But, I think the big thing for me is when we talk about it all the time, whether you are a Justin Fields supporter or a Caleb Williams supporter. And our next topic is going to be about Justin versus Caleb and where the Bears are at right now. We heard some stuff about Pittsburgh today, so bear with us if you're tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button.
I see what you did there. Bear with us, because bear down.
Bear with us. But no, like, I think here's my thing, because I hear everybody say, no, irresponsible. There's so many holes on this team. And you can't draft a receiver in the first round. Listen, I don't know if it's with the number 1 pick or trading down the 2 or 3, or if it would be with the number 9 pick. But the Chicago Bears definitely have to go receiver in the first round, whether it's at 1 or 9. Obviously, if I'm saying 1, it's not necessarily 1. It would be 2, 3, or 4. Hello? Wow, bro. Nah, bro. Hold on. Give me a second.
According to Ian Rappaport, the Bears are trading Justin Fields to the Steelers.
Wow. Bro.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. Justin Fields is traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I guess that confirms that they're drafting a quarterback. It's probably going to be Caleb, but they're drafting a quarterback none the least.
Wow, bro. Wow.
Well, I guess that answers our question as far as who they're building it for.
Wow.
But before we dive too deep,
bro. Wow. What did they get? Wow, Justin Fields is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yep.
Swear to God, every time I'm live, some shit goes down. This is like at this point, I just shit. Wow, bro. Wow, bro. Wow. Holy shit. Swear to God. So everyone's mad at me in the comments talking about. Wow. Ian Rappaport just reported the Chicago Bears have traded Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, bro. Tony, what the fuck? Tony, please say something.
It's
They got
just
a
crazy, man. Like
what the
a 6th rounder. That's it.
wow.
I don't know. I mean, I know we've talked about it. We went in depth, and we'll probably go in depth on it more when it comes to how we feel about Caleb.
Right.
I don't get the why. Like, you never truly gave the dude a chance as far as being your number one. You finally give him a legitimate wide receiver last year. He has a great chemistry with him. His other supporting cast is terrible as far as his number two. He had his running backs and he had his tight end, but that's about it. He was still having to run for his life with his O-line. And like you brought up a few months ago, do the Bears not realize the terrible tendencies that they're going into? They've traded the quarterback that they just drafted a few years ago with a head coach that's coming into the season already on the hot seat, that if he doesn't do well, they're going to fire him. And then what are they going to do when he gets fired? They're going to bring in another head coach. This head coach is going to say, Caleb's not my guy. I didn't pick him. I didn't want to pick him. I just had to make it work. And then they're going to do this same vicious cycle all over again. And I don't really get why. Like, Fields is not a bad quarterback. I know you watched him at Ohio State. I even watched him at Georgia. One of the things that I was going to kind of reach for a tiny bit, as far as maybe some clues saying that they were going to keep Justin, was the fact that they did bring in DeAndre Swift because they were teammates at Georgia. Like, okay, maybe a little bit of the chemistry there. But I mean, just the fact that you finally decide to trade him, you get a 6th round pick out of it in next year's draft, not even this year's, but next year's draft, just blows my mind, man. I mean, good for Pittsburgh. Like, they have an option after Russ, and maybe they can build around him. But
well, here's what we're gonna do. I have to send Tony another link because I have to change the bio and title of this episode. So make sure you stay with us. We're about to go live again in a couple of seconds. Justin Fields has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tony, I'll see you in about 2 seconds because the St. Patrick's Day episode is officially fucking canceled.
Okay.
Golly.